In Mercer County as well, while Martin Luther King Jr. Day may have passed, Bluefield State University's annual MLK Day Luncheon was held today, giving students the opportunity to join with the faculty in a celebration of the life and legacy of the historic civil rights leader. For the first time this year, the event was organized by the head men and women's track and field coach at the university, who's also a member of the same fraternity as Dr. King. The president of Bluefield State University says this year's event was a success with a great turnout and some students even taking part in the ceremony as well. Bluefield State University's Chancellor, Reverend Gary Moore, returning to give a voice to an iconic speech of Martin Luther King Jr. This year, he chose to read MLK's final speech, "I've Been to the Mountaintop," receiving high praise from those in attendance.
If you didn't know about MLK, you know more about him now. And that's what I'm thinking about, honestly. It's not just listening to his speech, you're learning more about history.
Reverend Moore's rendition allowed them to feel the fire that was in Martin Luther King Jr.'s heart at that time.
It's almost as if you could really believe that MLK was sitting in here doing the speech in front of us. And he did such a great job. And I think for the people that were here, it helped remind us of what his mission was in the first place.
Those we spoke with are encouraging students to join them again next year, while also urging them to keep the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. alive by participating in the university's upcoming Black History Month events.